And we are back with another rousing episode of Are You Not Entertained? A little something different this week. I kicked to my co-host for a special and a little announcement.
Yeah, so unfortunately, we had some Legends Pass this week, and we're a big anime. We're big on gaming, so we cannot go without acknowledging and sending our condolences to the family of One Piece and Dragon Ball director Tatsuya. He passed away recently, and also the author and manga artist of Super Mario Brothers, Kazuki, passed away as well. It's quite interesting because I didn't even think about Super Mario in the sense of they had a manga before they had a video game, and so he was
Damn,
very yeah
I
he was
didn't know
very
that.
yeah he was the one drawing and all that for the manga, so he came before the video game, so he was very crucial in one of Nintendo's most recognizable IP. And we all know One Piece and Dragon Ball. I can't think of anybody that's walking this earth that ain't heard or once seen a scene from One Piece and Dragon Ball. So we just wanted to take the time out to acknowledge and pay our respects to these great gentlemen. They left something remarkable on this earth, something that is always embedded into my childhood, even in my adulthood. I still watch anime. I still recognize Super Mario. I had, Super Mario games. We just wanted to take time in acknowledging the passing of legends. And also, we wanted to acknowledge the only Black Panther that is forever in my heart. I just love this man. I loved everything he stood for while he was here before his transition. And I still cannot bring myself to watch any other Black Panther movie after his untimely passing, and that is Mr. Chadwick. He is getting his Hollywood Walk of Fame set for November 20th, 2025. It is well deserved, and honestly, I would have thought they would have did this years ago, but he is finally getting his time in the sun, rightfully so, and he is forever embedded into my Marvel love. The way he represented Black Panther, like I said, I still can't recognize another Black Panther over him. He is forever the one in my heart. I cannot watch another Black Panther movie. I did not watch the sequel. They had the whole, funeral scene for him, and I just couldn't bring myself to watch it. It was too painful. So Mr. Chadwick is getting his Hollywood Walk of Fame ceremony, and rightfully so. So we just wanted to bring awareness to these legends that been taken away from us too soon, and they'll forever be in our hearts going forward. But moving on to a regular scheduled program. Today's agenda. Oh Lord, here we go. Here we go.
Today's agenda. So up first, we have the usual show starter, breaking the ice. That just happened. Did you catch that? And we got some real interesting pieces this week. Studies show buying physical games hurts the environment. And of course, this show would not be this show without some juicy either Xbox or Nintendo pieces. We'll get to that. Up first, let's break the ice, people. Steam Machine has entered the chat. A new challenger is here.
Mhm.
Steam Machines are back, baby, after 15 years from the original failure of the original Steam Machines. And I'm very curious why they chose to keep that name. Because for any of you all who may not know, those youngins, this is not the first Steam Machine endeavors they've had. As I said 15 years ago, they tried this, but a major difference. This time Valve is back with new and improved system. Excuse me. This time it's being developed in-house with Steam OS as the basis for the product and the machine. Done in-house, Valve is set to bring PC gaming to the living room, but in a simplistic plug-and-play nature, similar to, dare I say it, console gaming. Now, the original Steam machines, you had MSI Claw, iPower, Alienware, and a bunch of other top brands. The difference this time is that, like as I said, Steam is doing this all in-house themselves with Steam OS as the basics, the core foundation of the project. The other ones, they kind of just allow companies to do however they wish or chose to, and the prices were astronomical. They were all over the place, from 600 to 2400. There were some that were small boxes, big boxes, little boxes, Amazon packages. it was everywhere. It was everywhere. And due to the confusion and so many hands in the pot, it did end up failing. And the controller was weird as shit. I won't lie. Anyone who was there and remembers this, that controller looks like something an 8-year-old made in arts and crafts. Just slapped it together with some Play-Doh, with some paint on it, and just kept going. But before we get into our breakdown, I have to say, I'm very shocked, but I'm very intrigued. Trice, what is your take on this? How do you feel?
Listen, listen, I've been saying on our pod for a long time that motherfucking competition makes the best come out on top, and I am always here for the drama. I'm always here for a little shake up. Xbox, Nintendo, fucking PlayStation, they've been, so used and accustomed to being just them. It's three to the party, four it's a crowd type of mindset. So, Tree, like you said, I'm the number one thing, and they did not touch on this, is the price. What is the price going to be for this? They got the VR headset, they got the home thing, they got the controller, but they didn't tell us a motherfucking price. And so that is when I looked up the reaction, that was the number one thing I seen people outside of saying, "Oh, this is going to be the Microsoft Xbox killer." And listen, I don't
Yes,
think Steam, even though I like I said, they're kind of targeting the same type of person. I don't think Steam is just locked in on trying to take out Xbox. I think they want a seat at the table, so they don't care who's in their path type of mindset. So it's very interesting, and I'm very intrigued by this product. So they did announce the Steam machine, like you said, the Steam frame, which is the VR headset, and the Steam controller. I'm gonna get a little nerdy, and I'm about to tell you the internals, so just hold on. Steam machine is a compact living gaming PC form factor. CPU semi-custom AMD Z4. GPU semi-custom as well. Storage is reportedly 512 gigabytes to up to 2 terabytes. Don't know if that's accurate. We'll see. Steam Frame, a standalone VR headset that can play non-VR games vis-a-vis Steam OS. So that was very interesting. A little Quantum Snapdragon 8 Generation 3 RAM, 16 gigabyte storage, all that whoosh whoosh.
all the bells and
2160
whistles.
yeah, 2160 by 2160 resolution per eye, pancake lenses, refresh rate up to 144 hertz. So very, very, very clear picture. And lastly, the Steam controller has two thumbsticks, two track packs, and claims to have a battery life of 35 hours. So that's why I said they're not just coming for Xbox, they're coming from everybody. Things they put in this machine and what they're claiming this machine can do. Isn't this kind of outdoing everything on the market? Let me know what you think.
I got one thing to say. Out of all that word salad, what the hell is the pancake lens?
I
That
don't know.
that
It was,
that
it was I'm
everything
just
after that, I'm
reporting
like,
the
wait, what?
news. I'm
I,
just
I I
reporting
get
the
you.
news.
I get you. You said that. I was like, wait, what? Now, I must admit, I am not huge on PC gaming. We're console players, but I
Well,
do
you got a
own a
Steam
Steam
Deck.
Deck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do own a Steam Deck, and I have been dabbling into it more and more. But when I saw this and I heard and read the articles, some people's hands on, the breakdowns, and etc., I am down. I am down
Yeah.
for this. With one caveat: what is the price? People have
Mm-hmm.
gone on record saying they've played it, they've tinkered with it, and Valve has not said anything. But Valve's told them that this will be comparable to a mid-range PC build. Some people put that in the ballpark between 700 to 1,000. And to me, I'm like, well, that's not really console like gaming. But then again, in recent years, Xbox has an $800 console.
Yeah.
Sony,
PlayStation got
the regular
750.
PlayStation is still five, but that Pro is a whopping 750.
Mm-hmm.
$750. So if they come out even around, let's just say for the sake of it, let's just say they do 650, same as the Steam Deck, even though it's 6 times more powerful than that. They're gonna shake up everything. They're gonna truly put the consumer's money where their mouth is and say, hey, you don't want limitations, you don't
Yeah.
want to choose between this box or that box. Hey, you buy our box. and you get it all. They're so confident in it that the Steam machine itself, the Cube, which is very reminiscent of a GameCube, it does not come with that Steam controller, but hey, they got you covered. If you have a DualSense or an Xbox controller, that links up with it automatically, just as
Mm.
if you were on a PC. You get it bundled with it, or they can say, hey, go a la carte. As long as you're in our wheelhouse, we're okay with that. The same type of strategy and talking that Xbox have. As my co-host said, hey, we're down for this. As far as the Cube and the controller, the VR thing, I'm not big on VR,
Me either.
but
It's not
I
where it
know
needs to be yet.
I believe VR to truly succeed, they need to leave the gaming behind. There are so many applications VR can be used for, but we're not here for all that. But my take on the VR headset is Valve is coming for, because VR is not really big or hot right now. But if anyone was going to make something that will push the envelope, push the narrative, and really get the ball rolling and picking up traction, it will be them. They're so confident in it. That headset does not need to be linked nor tethered a PC. It is all standalone on its own. They did mention, small caveat, it is a mobile chip that powers it. But if you're cool with playing
Ah.
smaller indie games, not the big AAA-esque, this is for you. You can sit there and play it. Even to the point you don't have to use the VR handsets. You can link a controller to it and just sit there and play it on the go. You can sit, no more being bored airport layovers. Your flight gets held back 2 hours. Hey, that's cool. Find you a nice, cozy spot. You ain't got to worry about anything. The world is truly yours. But everything else, I am intrigued to the
Mhm.
highest umpteenth about this. I am waiting with bated breath to see what is the MSRP, baby. If they come in at the right price, even so much to where you can use the Steam Deck hand in hand with it. They say, hey, we're not just making one product, we're giving you all. Choice beyond choice. Or pick all. As long as you here, baby. And that's all they care about. Oh, go
I
ahead.
just no, I just, I find it interesting, for one, that the announcement of this, and they're saying this is coming early next year. For one, I don't believe that release date, by the way. And then the fact that they cover so many different areas. I did the VR system, they did the home console. They said, hey, bring whatever controller you got. So they're really trying to have the mindset of being the most convenient thing for you. And when I say it's going to take something significant for me to move off the PlayStation that I've already invested in financially, especially those who bought the PS5 Pro and has bought these overpriced Xbox, it's going to take a lot for these customers to then walk away from what they already have in their household. So that's number one of an uphill battle for Steam Deck. Now, the benefit is, like I said, they are thinking about the convenience of the consumer. They're making it seem like, hey, especially if you're one of those people that buys all the systems, you have the Switch, you have all these systems. Why make your life harder? We can make it easier for you. I think that is the right messaging that they're putting out with this hardware. And especially they're coming off the heels of all these systems raising the prices. They already know the consumers are pissed off. I think they're very, very smart, very, very calculated. Now, the only rebuttal I have is why release early next year? Why not just release fall when the most amount of money is in the market? From everything that I've read, a PS6, damn, now that I just had a thought. Maybe that's why PS6 and the next Xbox is rushing release, because they knew this shit was in the pipeline from Valve. I just thought about that
Mm,
while I was talking. Yeah, and when I was asking why are they rushing it, maybe it's because of this. Maybe they knew this was coming.
that's a good possibility. Sony and Xbox does put their games on Steam, aka
Yes,
PC. So
yes,
they would
yeah.
have some type of insight or knowledge that, hey, I'm coming to take your lunch money.
Yeah, that kind of okay. That look, tinfoil hat time. I mean, but it kind of makes sense. But is that enough to rush the next generation of PlayStation and Xbox? Is the system? Do we think? Do we think? Because I mean, other people have tried to come into the party when Nintendo, Xbox, and PlayStation have failed. I think the Atari tried to come back, and whoever
Oh
else
God.
over the years. And so do we think, or let me ask you this directly. Do you believe that this hardware could not only go toe to toe in fighting over consumers little whatever it is, $600, $800, but then could replace them going forward? Do you believe that?
Replace,
Mm.
go up against, yes. I'll say that. Replace, no. And the reason I'll give a little bit of facts and feedback into my answer. Gamers, wherever they choose to lay their controller down, are some of the most stubborn SOBs there are.
And
Because
like they're already invested, so like
once you are so invested, ingrained, someone can walk up and be like, "Hey, this is free. I don't care. Go away. I already spent my money, but you don't have to spend it. I don't care. Go away. I have
Yeah,
my
yeah,
setup."
yeah.
And I would say this is why Sony has been making those headsets, peripherals, to try to get into this. Even you have Xbox fans who have been taking L's for 2 generations. And they're just like, this is where I'm at, baby. This is where I am. Plain and simple. PlayStation people, Nintendo. I mean, let's be real here, people. Those are some of the most stubborn. It's just not gonna happen. I mean, PlayStation has moved their exclusives to PC because they're like, hey, there's some piece of people that just ain't just not gonna buy this. They're just not going to. So yeah, a replacement, no, but go hand in hand, yes. And one thing I will say, PC is very attractive when it comes to your wallet.
Yeah.
Steam has the annual Steam sales of every quarter, and not only just that, you see more. How can I put this? If a game does not perform as it should, you see more course correction on Steam than you do on consoles. If a game did perform well, hey, on PC, it might be $30. It could be less. On console, they still want that 70. And you'll be like, hey, yo, like, what is this? But that doesn't happen. Like, Hell is Us is a game that recently came out. That game is $50 on Steam, MSRP. On consoles, I can't remember. Let me make sure I say that before someone corrects me. It's either $60 or $70. And you will be like, hey, hey, what the hell? I will say this though. The one caveat, Steam is pure. There is no secondary option of, physical and maybe you're catching on sale digitally. It is all pure digital. But yes, they are more lenient and more consumer friendly with their product. But some people, do have an issue with the digital age and not owning. But if I do remember
Yo
correctly,
ass.
oh yeah, me. But we're not talking about me. I'm talking about the others. But I do remember though, if I remember correctly, that Steam is fully on board with like you owning like the digital library you amass. If something were to happen, and let's say Steam shut down, your account
Mhm.
is your account. You'll still be able to play those games. I don't believe it can be quote unquote taken from you. But yes, I wholeheartedly they could do something. They can shake things up because as we say, competition is good for the consumer. So if they want to shake things up and put Sony and Microsoft more on their toes and say, hey, we're going to undercut you, but hey, we still like doing business with you. Go ahead.
Tighten up, tighten up.
Tighten up. Hey, do
Yeah.
as crazy. Don't be careful. Do better.
Yeah, yeah, I'm
Wholeheartedly.
not
Just
I'm not I'm not mad
just
at it.
need to see that. I
Yeah.
just need to see that price. That is the only thing holding me back. But I
Yeah.
do believe that price will be attractive because out of all handheld PCs, Steam is still go-to preferred handheld. Even though
Oh, yeah.
there's handhelds that can do more, a little bit more powerful, but it's the comfortability, it's the brand recognition, and then
And the
as
goodwill.
they goodwill. And as they clearly stated, Steam OS is at the foundation of this. This is not Windows. This is nothing else. This is nothing but Steam. And you're a PC hardcore enthusiast, love Steam. The console gamers like me and you who dabble but we're not really sure, this is how they'll win them over. Hey, you ain't gotta worry about drivers. You ain't gotta worry about INI files and all this. Log in, download, and we hope you have fun. That's all I got. I just want to see the price.
Yeah,
Come on, people are loving it so
listen.
much. They call it the Gabe Cube.
Listen, when I first saw it, I was like, "Who cropped off the Xbox?" I was like, "What the hell?" And I thought, and I saw the first thing I saw was the VR. I was like, "Oh shit, Apple Vision Pro 2, a discounted version." I was like, "Hell yeah!" And then I was like, "Oh shit, this not Apple. Who is what Steam?" Yeah, so like I said, it just dropped on a random Tuesday, Wednesday. This news, and I was like, "What the fuck?" So yeah, they definitely have been the surprise of the month for November so far. I mean, I know we're about to close out the year, but they was like, aha, one little trick in in our bag, buddy. Yeah, but it's really the price, and I'm thinking about the lower barrier of entry for like people like parents with kids and all that stuff. I'm really curious what kind of parental controls they're gonna have because PC,
It's the Wild West.
it's the
That is the best way of
yes.
putting it.
Yeah, so when this comes like in the room for a kid, I'm really curious what kind of parameters they're gonna put in place, or if they're even thinking about kids, or if their sole idea is somebody over 18, 16 having this in their room. But yeah, I'm really trying to see what they're gonna do with kids, the price, and I'm really trying to imagine somebody like me who has a PlayStation already in their house, and I have an Xbox. Would I sell my PlayStation and Xbox for this? That's the last big question I have. Like, would I really get rid of what I have now to get this? I think I would have to definitely wait and see the feedback, see the bugs that's come out of launch. And then, I'm really trying to control the hype. I feel like we get worked up when something new and shiny comes on the market. So we just gotta
Yeah,
really temper
yeah,
our
so true.
expectations, especially when this first comes out. We all know how rollouts go, it's hiccups. I'm intrigued, and that's where I'm gonna keep my feelings at intrigue level. And then when I start seeing the real stuff, the price, then I'll come back and be like, not bad, not bad. This might be it. This might be it. But yeah, let us know in the comments how you feel and what price are you willing to pay all these products. I don't know if they have any bundles with all three or what.
So what I saw was the only bundled so far was the system and the controller. It was
Hmm.
nothing that
But
gave all
all
three.
three, yeah.
But also, I just remembered to answer your question because, well, I don't know if it's a question or not. You mentioned that you don't believe it coming out early next year, and then why that right after the holiday season when spending is at an all-time high. They are probably taking a playbook from Nintendo. Nintendo has launched two systems, DOS, out of the normal, typical end of the year holiday window. And by both accounts, the Switch One was a major success. Switch Two is doing pretty damn good, launching untraditional window in a sense. And they're probably thinking like, hey, well, if they can do it, can do it. That
Yeah, yeah, we gotta put a little
that
contents on that though, because that's in between launches of the new generation of Xbox and PlayStation. But now Xbox and PlayStation say, "Hey, we right around the corner." So it's
mhm.
a little bit different, but I get what you're saying. But like I said, I don't believe no release dates when I see them now. I'm jaded, so they're gonna have to show me. I'm from the show me state, so we'll see.
Absolutely.
We'll see.
Moving on,
Oh,
we
another
have
fucking
that just
snooze
happened.
fest. Oh my
I know you all may think we are biased. We have maybe a little fanboyism, but hey, PlayStation just don't fuck up as much as Nintendo and Xbox. But today, we got a PlayStation fuck up. I'm gonna tell you right now, I was anxious for this state of play, and then I read the fine print. It will be subtitled for Japan, about Japan, and the Asian markets. I was like,
And that's
oh,
not a problem. We love Japan. We
okay.
wanna
And
go,
that's
you
not a
know
problem. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Not trying
yeah,
to say anything about that, but
but it's the
I'm
it's
an
the
anime watcher
announcements.
who watches dub. I don't watch sub. But
He's
to
not a
sit
real
through
he's not
this,
a real anime fan, because any real
shut
anime
your mouth.
fans will watch okay.
I watched through this, and I'm gonna tell you this, as a 35-year-old man, I have learned time is your most precious resource and commodity, and I could not get that back. This state of play was a bit of a snooze fest. Most of the shit they talked about or announced, I did not know. Halfway through it, they started speeding up, and it reminded me why I don't like to watch sub, because as quick as you try to read it, they're moving along to the next thing. But hey, we're just here to report the news. And
Mhm.
I'm going to give you the highlights. So, the biggest things, or most of this state of play, was Dragon Quest VII Reimagined. I'm not huge into Dragon Quest games, and for one reason, a lot of them are very old and outdated. They are turn based. Infamous is not a turn based player to some degree, depending on the aspects of it, but I just feel it's a relic of its time. I do
Well,
know
it's
Dragon
reimagined.
Quest. Yeah, it is reimagined, and I'm gonna get to that. Now, Dragon Quest games have huge huge fan bases. We're talking
Yeah.
on the scale of Nintendo fans. And the older the game is, the harder it is to find and the more expensive it is to find. I believe Dragon Quest VII was redone for the 3DS. For you to find that cart in CIB form, it might run you maybe about $200. That's like 90s hard note prices right there. But it looks kind of cheesy, kind of childish, but I see what they're doing. It does look interesting. I'm my older age, I am kind of tolerating a little more of these type of games. Would I get it? Probably on a sale. I mean, it's a single player game. Everything eventually goes on sale. The next thing they showed, this kind of it's a classic, but at the same time, it's a fucking remake. And this is a mouthful. The Fatal Frame Crimson Butterfly 2. I don't know why in the hell they did not want to trim that down. I'm assuming brand recognition, so people know what the hell it is.
CBR.
It's a remake. Yeah, it's a remake. There is nothing more I need to say. Besides that, the Fatal Frame games, this is true old school PS2 horror. We're talking about you played this in your room, even during the daytime. It scared the shit out of you. You went to bed early. The Japanese are some pretty people when it comes to horror in their image. But hey, it's another fucking remake. Next game was Tokyo Extreme Racing. I got nothing for you. It's a fucking racing game. There's no way to innovate on racing. It's a car. There's four wheels. There's engine. There's shift up, shift down. We live in an age where the biggest racing titles are PlayStation's Gran Turismo and Xbox and PlayStation's Forza series. Nothing else to really go on there. Nevergrave, The Witch, and the Curse. This is another old school thing. It's a 2D platformer side scroller-ish kind of game. It has hat mechanics where you can use the hat to take over and do interesting things in the game. I don't understand platforming and 2D side scrollers. I know indie games do it a lot. It's cost effective, but it's not my thing. And I never heard of it. It had a weird ass name. Octopath Traveler 0. I have not gotten into these games. I do love their art style. It's retro, but with a hint of just a dash of something new, glossy. Kind of reminds me of holographic Pokemon cards. They are turn-based. They do have a great fan base, and that's kind of really about it. There is a demo out right now. You can play the first 3 hours of the game, and I'll give Square Enix this. Square Enix has a lot of, I don't want to say problems, a lot of quirks to them. But recently, the last few years, every demo they have put out to entice you to play the demo and then get the game, your demo progression carries over to the full game. I like that. I truly do like that. And it seems this series is picking up. There were 2 games before this. Now this is 0. I'm assuming it's probably a prequel. They're your typical JRPGs. I haven't played them. I look to get into them, but I ain't got the time for. What was next after that? Let me see. This will probably be edited out. I don't know why I didn't put this in. And see, next up, Marvel Tokon. I don't know if I've talked about this, listeners, entertainers. Infamous don't play fighting games anymore. I used to, once upon a time. Bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, I think is how the saying goes. When I was younger. Marvel Tokon has another closed beta coming up, and it is a PlayStation exclusive fighting game, if I remember correctly. I'm assuming ever since Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite and how that tanked the series, this is Marvel's comeback into, the fighting scene. It's a fighting game. I mean, there's nothing else to say. It's a fighting game, Marvel characters. It will probably always live in the shadow of the greatest fighting game that people think of, Marvel vs. Capcom 2. But then there was an announcement. We get some hardware announcement. Sony announced a gaming monitor, 27-inch display with a built-in charger for the DualSense. Okay, going a little bit for the convenience, but I don't see, But hey, they want to try to cater to both markets. Hey, you go ahead. Now this was a little odd. They took a playbook out of Nintendo. A new PS5 was announced. It's a specific PS5, specific for Japan only, at a lower, I can't recall if it's region locked to Japan, a la the Nintendo Switch 2, but it is I guess a way to get more of the hometown audience back home to PlayStation. Some of you all may not know this, even though Nintendo and PlayStation are both Japanese-based companies, Nintendo mops the floor with PlayStation in their home country. So this is them saying, hey, times is hard, we got you covered. And then 2 smaller announcements of Elden Ring's DLC was announced, and Dynasty Warriors Origin DLC was announced. And that, ladies and gentlemen, gents, and everything else, was the sum up of this state of play. I just saved you all 40 minutes of having to go watch this. And if you did watch it, I truly am sorry. We're in the club together. We're here. We all watched that, unfortunately. Treese, anything from this state of play that caught your attention, tickled you in the slightest?
Yeah, so and I hate to say this, but nothing intrigued me or excite me. Some of the stuff they announced pissed me off. Okay, but I'm gonna get that
Oh.
towards the end, and I'm just gonna run through like some of the stuff because I did take note that a lot of their stuff scheduled to come out early next year. Besides the Elder Ring, that's December 4th of this year. There is a free Monster Hunter Worlds free title update coming out December 16th. Most of the stuff they announced is in that early next year window. Funnily or not coincidentally, it's all before the old release date of GTA 6. So they are, Sony did not want
Ah,
it. They
I
did
did
not
not
want
catch that.
yeah, they did not want no problems with GTA, and it's clear because a lot of their release dates is like February 5th, February 12th, March 5th. Like, yeah, they a lot of their releases was not near the GTA original release date. Now, maybe some things would get pushed back a little bit. Don't know, but I thought that was funny. That's something that I took note of. Now, the hardware. They announced that 27-inch gaming monitor with built-in DualSense charging hookup. I mean, if that tickles your fancy, then hey, by all means, do you, buddy. The PS5 digital, and it is region locked to Japan, pissed me off. That is what irritated me because you release and
Mhm.
I understand their mindset said, hey, they need to take back some region control of Japan. This is how they're gonna do it. They're gonna lower the price. And it is a digital edition. It's not a hard disk, whatever, but that's not the problem. That's not the problem. You just did an increase the United States to 750.
Mhm.
You have the audacity to then turn around like a month too late 2 months later and say, hey, we have a region locked Japan exclusive edition that's going to be priced at what? $356 US. Now that's 55,000 yen. What? We're
That
paying
number sounds so
750?
significant.
We're paying 750 in the US and you just slashed it half? Where's our region locked ass system that's discounted in? Not saying that I'm buying it because I'm not buying PS5 Pros or any new PS5 versions. No, it's a wrap, buddy. I find it frustrating, and I'm not even trying to be funny as somebody that's based in the US, and I understand that. I mean, maybe Japan, I don't know their financial situation, I don't know their employment, I
It's
mean,
bad.
we
It's
yeah,
bad.
I mean, but we're bad here too, and they still chose 750 price. Come on, man. Come on, man. Where's our discounted version? And we've come accustomed to that between like generations. They always have something where they revamp it and have it brought down so people can afford it. More people can afford the system. And they didn't do that. What they did was raise the price on everything. I don't know.
Mhm.
That kind of pissed me off and rubbed me the wrong way. And it's no shade to Japan. I love Japan. I'm going next year. If I could live part-time, I would. But that really pissed me off because if region lock is all you need to bring down the price, region lock our shit then.
But that begs the question: what cost is incorporated in a region locked console? Because
I don't give a
I
fuck.
have to I got to play devil's advocate here. The 3DS was Nintendo's last region locked console, and they all sold at the same price. So what? Fool me once, no, 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 no. So what's going on, Sony? I understand your plight.
But
Trust and
I
believe me, I
mean,
saw that. Like, yo, what the fuck?
and I'm not saying that Japan not going through a hard time. I mean, the notes make note of it, like local income and conditions. But that's everywhere. That's global. That's around the world. You didn't give a fuck about anybody else. And I'm not saying Japan don't deserve it, but don't we deserve it too? That's all I'm saying. Why not us too? Why not us too? And that was the main thing that pissed me off. And from the reactions of Reddit and all that, a lot of people are complaining about that. They don't understand. They're kind of having the same sentiments as me. And some people that bought the PS5 Pro at 750 are they're the ones that's really pissed off. But
Mhm.
I've been saying this about State of Play for a long time. They all been snooze fest. And the fans' reactions on Reddit kind of symbolize that too. They quote that it was underwhelmed. I mean, many announcements were solid, but there was expectation for mega reveals, and we just did not get that. The feeling of this
I don't know why
state
they
of
had that expectation. They didn't say anything beforehand.
listen, but you do a state of play. That means you got something to say. You got something to show off.
True,
That's like, I mean,
true, very
so I
true.
mean, I think, but as gamers, I say we gotta temper our expectations going forward. It was kind of disappointing when I saw that price, and I just feel bad for all the people that spending 5750 on these PlayStations in around the world except Japan. But hey, shout out Japan, man. You got a relatively way affordable system than anybody else in the whole entire world.
Short words. I'm a short state of play. uh,
Let us know in the
yeah, I
comments
really,
though how you
yeah.
feel.
I couldn't help it. But it really wasn't shit. I mean, let us know in the comments, like my co-host said, how you all felt. But I mean, hey, hard times are coming, and this is just more proof in the pudding.
Yeah.
But anywho, moving on. Let's get to our next one. And
Woo!
as
Our
we always
weekly
say, it
dose
ain't a
of
news week,
Xbox.
baby. If it ain't Xbox or Nintendo, and
Yes,
we got
sir.
all three of them this week.
Yes, sir. The Holy Trinity. Thanos
Did you
stones.
catch that? Microsoft is abandoning their 10-year plan for Halo Infinite. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. So, anyone who does not know this, people have short track minds, very forgetful, especially the young with all the Fortnite and Roblox. Before Halo Infinite came out, 343 Industries handled support of it, and Microsoft had the ideal plan for Halo. A new Halo comes out every 3 years, kind of like how Pokemon with Nintendo. But I believe it was 6 years for Infinite. They supposedly made a new, from the ground up engine specifically for this game, the Slipspace engine, and they entitled it Halo Infinite. Halo Infinite was supposed to revitalize the entire franchise, and they had a 10-year plan for the game. Kind of like Bungie, with that Destiny game that now ain't shit. As all good things come to an end, except this was not good. Microsoft abandons the 10-year plan for Halo Infinite. The next coming update will be the last. Halo Studios, formerly 343 Industries, will focus more on remaking Bungie games and shipping them on PlayStation. And a possible Halo 7 is in the works. Halo going forward will be on PlayStation. So this is them just, letting it go. And as my co-host has stated many, many times, tough times are coming. The belt is tightening. The buckle is buckling down, baby. Halo Infinite didn't do that great. I mean, it's stealth launched. It was the multiplayer only. Co-op campaign had to be added. The Forge had to be added. That took, I think, nearly a year. Split screen co-op, which is a staple of the series, was canceled, and they promised they would not do that again after Halo 5. It was a lot. Halo Infinite was truly, truly, from its conception to the deployment and ongoing, it has not been the greatest. But to see it cut short like this, it ain't Infinite. And it clearly shows Microsoft is really running the ship over there at quote unquote Xbox. And they're like, hey, if it ain't making money, why are we supporting it? Let it go. Now, that's not to say the servers will go offline. You'll still be able to play the campaign co-op online, and I'm pretty sure the multiplayer seat will still be playable for the foreseeable future. But they're just saying we're not going to support them. Anything they did not add, didn't get to, it ain't coming, baby. Trace, how do you feel?
Good old Xbox. Listen, I feel like I can't live a day of my life without saying something about Xbox. But pertaining to Halo Infinite, I just want to go through the history books. Back around launch, 343 Industries had described Halo Infinite as the start of a long term platform, saying they wanted Infinite to grow over time, create Halo Infinite as the start of the next 10 years for Halo, and then building that as we go with our fans and community. The idea of a 10-year plan became a shorthand among fans and media for the game's live service and multi-platform ambitions. Why this plan is changing? Focus on new projects. Like my cousin said, hey, we're supporting PlayStation now. We need to allocate some sources, and that came with, hey, they gotta cut out some unnecessary making, probably not enough money making. Yeah, I think they're following the money maker, which is, supporting PlayStation and all that, whatever that entailed. So the next update, scheduled for November 18th, which is just 3 days away from us recording this, has been declared as the last planned major content update. Halo Infinite will move into a maintenance mode rather than being actively expanded. They are changing technical and strategic properties. Hey, what's that saying? Due to economic situation.
Microeconomic
Yeah.
conditions.
That's all I see when I saw that. Some people have argued against update cadence, live service health, and community expectations didn't align with the 10 years of narrative that they preached in the beginning, meaning that this was never feasible from the beginning. Like my cousin said, it's still playable, current certain service and support, yada, 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 yada. Now, I just want to put this in perspective. They said 10 years, and they have followed a season structure like releases. That means they made it through 5 seasons. 5 seasons. They had season 1, Heroes of Reach, season 2, Lone Wolf's Winter, season 3, Echoes Within, season 4, Infection, season 5,
It
Reckoning
sounds cool.
Operations and Content, and then the final major update, which is Operations Infinite. Like, I mean, I guess they did get 50%, but that's a failing grade. I know Halo fans have been taking a major L. These last couple of weeks has been hard on you. I'm so sorry. Please sign the guest list. We're in this together. This is a safe and helpful and reassuring environment for you. We are here for you. Let us know if you need anything from us, but please sign the guest books. And there's drinks and coffees and donuts at the concession stand. Thank you. Because, baby, y'all are taking some major fucking L's of late.
Don't forget the hors d'oeuvres in the kitchen.
Like, god damn. It's just like, Microsoft, couldn't you not have just did this all in one swell swoop? Why'd you have to like hit us back to back to back to back to back? Like, damn. Y'all taking so many uppercuts, like y'all and fell out on the pavement in the boxing match. I feel for the Halo fans and the diehard fans, and coming to PlayStation was the ultimate betrayal, but this also on top of that is just the icing on the cake, the straw that broke the camel's back. God, hey, let us know in the comments if you need some help, you need some talking to. We're here for you, buddy. We're here for you. It's
We're
okay.
all
It's a
in this
safe,
together.
yeah, it's a safe
Safe community.
space.
I
Yes.
will say one thing to add on to this. If my memory serves me right, Halo Infinite was supposed to be a platform to springboard not just a future of the series, but as far as like content goes, it was supposed to be. That's why it wasn't like a physical game,
Yeah.
because everything they were going to just add it, just do to it would just be added on to the game, and not just multiplayer as thing. There's supposed to be single player stories, DLC added to it, things that would expand on Master Chief's story and everything that was going on the new take they were having of it. And you said they did 5 seasons. I don't recall any like actual new story or content wise. It was all just multiplayer stuff.
Yeah.
And that seems like a bit of a waste, but it has been well documented that 343 Injuries, now Halo Studios, done or been the best of managing this franchise. You have people now currently begging Microsoft, and I do mean begging, to take the franchise from them and give it to Machine Games. Yeah, Machine Games, because they make the first person games. They make the Indiana Jones thing, but
Mm.
we are sorry. We're here with you. It's okay. Don't cry on me, but it's okay to cry. And like I said, there's hors d'oeuvres in the kitchen. You know, we're gonna feed you as well as quench your thirst. But
Yeah.
I really don't have nothing else going on.
Listen, I'll play the advocate at the end of this. Maybe this is a good thing. Maybe they can stop wasting resources and bullshit on a dying product that is live service games. And actually, I think this is one of the most long lasting from that, that time where everybody was trying to get a live service game. They lasted, I think,
Mhm.
longer than a lot of other ones. So kudos to you
Oh
for
yeah.
that. But live service games, they should have been new and already started recalling resources to have something else in the pipeline as they cancel this, because I'm sure they saw the writing on the wall, plus the PlayStation agreement came. So maybe this is a good thing for the next full Halo Halo entry into the franchise, not just all the remakes and other shit they doing. They need to refocus, get realigned, some focus groups going on, really tie and hunker down, buckle down, like you said, is the next move for this franchise because they're sucking the life out of the fans. The fans are starting to get fed up. The PlayStation agreement really took a lot of wind out the sails of the fans. But so maybe this is a good thing that they're ending this live service Halo Infinite. Maybe they can focus on making a great game for the next Halo entry, and I hope they do. I hope they do. My childhood is filled with great moments of playing with my friends online with Halo. So I hope nothing but the best from this announcement, and hopefully they do something good because, like I said, the Halo fans deserve better than what they're getting. They've been kind of mistreated for a long time and kind of, set aside like a quiet mistress or something, and they deserve their day in the sun. Okay. It's been dark for a long time. So, but let us know in the comments how you feel. If you think this could be a good thing for Halo going forward, are you disappointed in this announcements? Do you think 343 and Microsoft are just fucking up the franchise? Because that's kind of
Fucking
how it
up
looked
the
for.
franchise.
Kind of how
Fucking
it
up the
looked for
franchise.
for a long time. But let us
I'm
know.
I'm
Let
gonna
us know.
say this. My cousin is being nice. She's being very optimistic, and I'm very shocked. I'm gonna say this. And your true hardcore Halo fan think this as well. Should have stopped. Halo should have stopped at Reach. Bungie left and Red out. They should have stopped as well. The continuation of it, the bastardization of it, same thing that's going on with the Gears of War series. They should have just let it go. But hey, this is just one man's opinion. So this
Not the
is
deep sigh.
this is the fuck shit for this show. I'm gonna get into this. Trees, go grab you a cup of coffee. It'll be
Okay.
a minute. It has been reported, and a new study comes out saying that buying physical games is bad for the environment. And I just want to get this off my chest. This might turn into a little bit of a rant. And two, it is highly fucking convenient that this news, this article, this study, whatever you want to call it, comes out at a time when they are pushing digital at its hardest, wanting to control the narrative, control what you play, control what you do. When they are trying their hardest to say, hey, you don't need to own your product. Well, I'm sorry, our product. Subscribe, and we got this. I find it that this shit is coming out and they're trying to pull this bullshit narrative like, hey, it's bad that 100 times more carbon intensive than digital. It's hurting the environment. Buying physical games is bad. So what about everything else that's bad? The fossil fuels, the drilling of the oil. Why now is this so prevalent when Microsoft is poised to fully go in on digital, when you have companies in droves pulling content from streaming services, making it hard for you to watch TV, video games. Games are getting delisted. I want to add real quick that Anthem is due to be delisted early of next year. You know why? Because EA say, hey, you don't need to play this. We don't want you playing it. And because it's an online only game, once they cut the servers, you are SOL. And that is bullshit. It is absurd how quickly we are letting these companies take control for a little bit of convenience. Just a little bit. I am a supporter of buying physical games because that's all I know. I'm an old guy. I'm a millennial, as you call. I remember owning my PS2 disc, my GameCube disc, my 360 disc. You could take a game offline all you want. Marvel Ultimate Alliance, you cannot go and play those games. They delisted them. Whether music, licensing, whatever the case is. But hey, you got it on disc, you own it. No one can dictate how you play or go about this. But I find it highly fucking offensive. This is the biggest crock of shit I've heard all year. Right has companies are trying to convince people digital is the way to go. These big corporations are always trying to pass the buck on to the consumer. Where was this data any generation beforehand? There are so many more harmful things harming the environment, but they choose to games as they always do. Some go wrong, gotta be gaming's fault. Digital gaming will not solve problem. When they first announced and made it for you to available to be digital games available to purchase, they had the notion to promise us, hey, buying the game digitally will save you money because we don't have to print the disc, we don't have to make the case, we ain't gotta make the artwork. Has gone up. You buy a A game on PlayStation, it's the same price as physical. Game on Xbox, same price as physical. Sometimes, if not more, depending on the circumstances. I don't want to hear this. And yeah, this may sound messed up, infamous, the environment, etc. The environment been taking L's, decades. What's one more? And as I said, why this? If you're gonna go about this, why physical gaming? There's so many other things you could have went with. Calm down, bring it back in. Let me kick it to my co-host Trace. What do you have for this rousing news?
You're very passionate about this topic. I'll just play devil's advocate just so I ensure that we're using our platform responsibly. This study was done by French carbon accounting firm Greenly. They claim producing and shipping 1 million PS5 compatible physical disc emits roughly 312 tons of CO2, whereas delivering a 70 gigabyte digital download for the same number of games is about 3. Yeah, 100 times difference between a digital and physical. And, I just think, and I'm just gonna, and the study notes that it's just not about the physical game. It's everything that's entailed logistically to get you from manufacturing the game until it gets to you, the consumer. And so, which I can understand because I was in logistics in the military, and I understand like some shit comes, and that's why the tariffs and all of the other stuff has just been out of hand. These things are manufactured far away from us. So especially if you're in the US, these things are produced, mass produced, assembled, all that way, probably across the pond sometimes, depending on, because they're going whoever can produce it the cheapest. And everybody always know that's not the US. And I'm not trying to say I'm thinking about the US only. I know games are worldwide, but it's entailed to the manufacturing, to the packaging, the shipping, to the delivery to the main hub, to the delivery to your local GameStop or Walmart or Target, the delivery to sitting on your shelves and all that, and then to finally get in your hands at the checkout line. So that's what the measure that they're taking in account. Not just, oh, the physical game, slap it together, put the plastic around it and ship it. It's a lot of internal things that goes into that study. Now, one thing that they don't note is the manpower and all that it takes to produce the digital copy. I mean, they didn't really go into any metrics about that. So, like I said, this could be kind of a thing without a lot of context. That's very, very, very important when you're making this blank statement. Now, like my cousin said, gaming is always taking a hit for, being violent, blah, 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 being a blame for children's misbehaviors and outcomes. Gaming does just take stuff on the chin rightfully so. I'm not here to make that outcome. That's kind of an individual's decision, but I think this is kind of, it's a lot of context that is not included in this report and it's not talked about. I kind of read through it. I'm not saying I'm very like recycle conscious, but I understand the need for humans to stop fucking up the place where we live. You would think you would keep your house in order, and yet we're still trying to plan to live on a whole nother planet while fucking up the planet we're living on. But that's another story for another day. So I just think this was very much kind of not rigged, but like, very, very sus at the timing of release. Like you said, digital gaming has taken over majority of sales for a lot of companies, a lot of publishers. So I don't believe in coincidence. I feel like, maybe they did have true intentions when they did this report, or maybe they didn't, and maybe, a lot of gaming companies are looking at this like, hey, they can make some type of marketing campaign like, oh, we're for the world first. We're eco-friendly. And but still, even with that 312-ton report, that still is very low when you compare it to them making them electric cars, batteries, and cars, and
Mm-hmm.
all that other stuff. This is still a very low number in comparison to that. And they don't quote that. They don't say that in the report from what I read. So, like I said, there's a lot of context that is not a contents that is not brought into this report, or at least brought to your attention when you read this report. So it's a little biased. It's got some bias elements, but hey, humans do need to do better. We do need to take care of our house. We do need to clean up the trash. It's just crazy. But hey, I think everybody as a human, you have a responsibility to keep your house in order, and we do need to do better. And that is my public announcements for today. And yeah, but yeah, I think this report was very biased though at the end of the day. But let me know what you think in the comments below.
Get my composure together.
I'm sorry. I thought he was gonna say something else. Let us know in the comments below if you care about the
Oh,
world and
oh
you
no,
stop.
I'm spent. I got it all out in one shot.
Let us know if you've been abandoned physical copies, or if you're like my cousin and you want your rights over your product and what you buy, and you refuse to buy and go digital, even though the systems, the publishers, the game sellers are telling you you ain't got no choice. We going digital.
Actually,
But
you know what? I do got something to add. You just made me think about this.
oh
This is
Lord, I'm
another
sorry, guys.
coincidence. No, this is another coincidence. It's funny how this comes out when sales across the board for gaming are going down. But not just that, the uptick in people going out and buying PS4s, Xbox Ones, PS3s, and 360s. It's funny how an article comes out saying, hey, physical gaming is bad. It hurt the environment. Now, yes, all those discs have already been made and etc. But it almost feels like trying to, in a sense, no, don't go back and buy our older product and you own it. You need so where we cater and have these nice
Mhm.
older games.
Mhm.
Yeah, I did just put that together. I thought of that. But
And I
like
will
I said,
say though, if you are a person that goes and buys resold or refurbished games, or I mean, kind of like GameStop, you sell your old stuff to get new stuff, and somebody comes back and buy your old stuff. Like that does bring down that total and that average, and that's actually good for the
mhm.
environment if you're rebuying things that's already been bought and you're making it useful going forward. I mean, that does bring down that total.
Moving on.
Our last topic, and we saved the best for last because the final trailer for Metroid Prime 4 Beyond was released this week, and I gotta say, and God bless our friend in our group chat. I'm gonna continue to put up his reactions to certain things, but I'm gonna show his text right now on the screen for you. He is highly disappointed after viewing the trailer and a 7-minute overview video that was released this week on November 14th. And I'm going to give the credit where credit is due. That preview was shown by Logan Plant on November 14th, like I said, but let's get into it. Nintendo released a 7-minute 4K overview trailer, like I said, on November 14th, which is described as a deep dive into the game, showcasing planets, environments, enemy types, new and all your new abilities you can. Key features revealed was the psychic abilities. You can control the trajectory of your beams and manipulate doors and mechanisms which with mind power. Nothing we haven't seen before, I guess, but it's new to this IP. I understand. New suit designs.
Sounds
I
familiar.
calm down, calm down. Wait. Jungle and forest, and there was a desert environment shown. There was a motorbike shown, and you can drive it at Viola in open areas in the Doom sections. But he didn't do that in the 7-minute video. I will note that. So we still haven't seen that really in actions outside of a trailer. And the announcement of Switch 2 edition with enhanced visuals and resolution modes. I will say the 7-minute thing was recorded on a Switch 2, and I listen, I've never said this about Nintendo in probably all my adult years, but that game looked good. That game good in that video, and I know it's cartoonish, it's not realistic, but still, that game look good, and I'll give recognition where recognition is due. All your praise, baby. That game beautiful. Now that was on the Switch too. I don't know how this is going to look or run on the Switch One or the Switch Lite or the OLED. None of that stuff that came before. They didn't really speak on it in the video. They just kept saying this was Switch 2. We're gonna get into the fans and the people's reaction to this and what they was disappointed about. Some community members feel like the trailer lacked big whoa, I quote unquote, moments or felt too safe. For example, this is a quote. I was disappointed because the trailer had shots of all of two missiles in and then morph into a ball, scan a dying pirate, and that was it. Silent protagonist problem. One Reddit commented, I think it's awkward that you got characters directly talking to you and she's like
Yeah.
awkward silence. Focus on pacing and showing too little gameplay depth, given the long wait and the hype. Yeah, I mean, okay. I mean, it's been 10 years. I mean, you waited that long, you can wait a couple more weeks. Many fans are upset, and this is the big thing. Breaks the series' tone of isolation and mystery. Like our friends said in our group chat, isolation is very much a common theme in this IP. So the inclusion of a chattery sidekick named Miles, which is in the photo. Jesus, when I watched the 7-minute clip, he does not shut up.
Shut the fuck up.
He says some of the most irritating shit. Like you're not aware you're playing a fucking video game. He'd be like, "Oh, it's good time to save the game." Fourth breaking wall, bitch. Shut the fuck up. And he'll just say annoying shit. And if he gets unalive because you leave him behind because he's distracted shooting something you already ran past or something, you will fail. And it will say you let a trooper get killed, and it will reset you. And so a lot of people are
Oh wow.
irritated by that. Many sources note that Miles provide very frequent and on the nose tips during gameplay, but a lot of people are like, bitch, this is not my first video game. I don't need a reminder from the game that I'm playing a game and how to play the game. So, a lot of people are saying the escort and companion gameplay elements tied to Miles, and I will note, Miles is locked to well, seemingly, you get a companion or escort in each area. There was like he had this scene where it was Miles and there was 7 other question marks indicating that there are more companions. And yes, you will leave Miles eventually, but you're going to run into somebody else. Now, will that other NPC be such annoying? Though annoying? Don't know. We'll see. But it's very much a change than past entries in the Metroid. It's the Metroid history. This is very, very abrupt change, and a lot of people don't like it. A lot of people like the isolation. You know, we live in a time where there's a lot of loners out there, a lot of social people. They don't like to hear the chattering. They like to just focus on their own. They like to scan, explore, figure stuff out on their own. That is the challenge of Metroid games. So yeah, the people are just not happy about that element. And visually, they like it. They like some of the new moves, some of the things, and a lot of your weapons upgrades and stuff like that are going to be tied to these NPCs and these escort missions. So just buckle up. If you had a certain idea how this Metroid game was going to be, I think you just have to, for one, taper your expectations. I know it's been 10 years. So you just gotta temper your expectations to what the game is showing you it's going to be. Don't imagine past Metro games in this game. This is a new experience. They're doing something new. Is it for the better for the IP? I don't know. I'll wait and see. I'm not gonna buy this game. I was excited for it at one point, but that was like 6 years ago. I'm kind of over the Metroid roller coaster ride, and I'll just see how it turns out, if it's even worth thinking about even getting. But like I said, I don't have a Nintendo Switch 2. I still have the OG, and if it runs bad on that, Nintendo's never getting my money, baby. But let me know, what do you think about all this feedback from the community about these new things about the Metroid Prime 4?
I have to admit, as my cousin said, that game do look fucking good.
It was beautiful.
That
Chef's
game does look
fucking
good,
kiss.
boy.
Mwah.
I mean, as long as it took, the least it could do is look good. I give them that. But other than that, this is just Nintendo being Nintendo. The trailer and point that she's talking about, yeah, I get that. But there was a secondary one I watched. They pointed out a key feature being that you can jump. Leave it to Nintendo to make it seem like they are revolutionizing something as far as a core common game mechanic as jumping. The original Mario / Donkey Kong games, hey, you could jump. And I'm gonna say this because I know you Nintendo fans. You're gonna try and talk, say, this first-person game revolutionized first-person shooters, which that's a crime to call it that because Nintendo don't see this as an FPS. They see it as a first-person adventure. Because I'm talking about the same people who claims Breath of the Wild changed open world games, which it didn't. But I've already did my rant. I ain't got a lot to say about this. I don't have a Switch 2. I have the original OG. Well, I have the OLED. And I probably ain't gonna buy it. Because if it looked that good and did all this, the Switch 2, I'm pretty sure the original one's probably gonna struggle. I
That's
I
probably why
said
they
it
didn't
a while
show it.
ago. Oh yeah, that's probably why I didn't show it. But I said it. I said this before this show was conceived. Metroid Prime 4 was going to be a generational game, as Breath of the Wild was with Wii U and Switch. So would be this game, and I believe the only reason it came out on the Switch One is because when they originally marketed it and showed it off, it was promised to come there. So that keeps them from being that absolves them from having to get sued and people saying like, "Oh, you forcing me to buy a Switch 2 for the play in order to play this game when nearly 10 years ago you promised us it would be on the Switch 1." That's probably the only reason it's coming out for that. Like to really be honest. But everything they showed, I wasn't impressed besides the graphic. It had a huge open world. For what? For what? A empty ass open world. And I'm saying that. Empty ass open world. Because Nintendo fans, boy, you all just eat up anything Nintendo gives y'all. Like it's gift from. I was not moved. I was not impressed by this game. Me personally, I didn't care about Metroid Prime 4. I am still sitting and waiting. When is Metroid Prime 2 and 3 remastered? That's what I'm waiting on. This, it ain't it, baby. And like I said, them graphics, it looks nice. That motorcycle, unnecessary. Open world, unnecessary. Some of the that talking Miles, completely unnecessary. You are Samus. You're a bounty hunter. That dude, he looks like your HR assistant. Just here to keep you from being bored. And I mean, he pointed out, hey, don't forget to save the game at checkpoints. This is some I don't even know the word for it. Do they believe their current audience don't know what to do, or are they targeting the young people? They're like, hey, if you never played a Metroid game, but hey, why? Your core audience knows how to play this, knows what to do with this. They don't need no assistance. And this is just Nintendo saying, hey, you don't know what the hell to do. So we're gonna let you know what to do. But I got nothing. I'm not moved. I'm not expecting or hyped for this. It's more Nintendo shit. And Nintendo has been peddling a lot of shit lately. I'm sure we'll
Yeah.
see why they didn't show the original, the game running on the original Switch. It'll probably be 26 frames a second, if not less. Grainy, graphical issues. It'll probably be a really interesting think piece on it. And trust and believe, we'll talk about it. But other than that, I ain't got nothing else.
Well, there you have it, folks. Listen, and if you go back and watch our original stuff that we first released, I said I thought this game wasn't coming because it had been so long. It was radio silent, and they wasn't saying anything. And like I said, I was excited for this game 6 years ago, and now I just you just for one, you cannot meet the hype for that long. You can't meet the high expectations. So I think at the end of the day, this is going to disappoint a lot of fans and a lot of hardcore Metroid. But who knows? They might get some new fans and get some new people with the revolutionary things they think they've done with jumping. Who
Oh, okay.
knows? But
I like how you put that. What they think they're doing. I'm gonna say what?
yeah, and they gave you a motorcycle because the dunes and the desert environment is so empty from the trailer. I was like, and they was like, oh yeah, you can run into crystals for energy that you need going forward, and I'm just like, there's so much gap in between what I see off in the distance, and I'm like, what? It looks empty, but hey, if you play Zelda, you'll probably play this and you'll probably think it's fun. I just don't have that same outlook on things like that. But needless to say, Metro 4 Prime Beyond is due to release December 4th, 2025. So that is right around the corner, a little over 2 weeks. So we will see the outcome of this very, very shortly in weeks. So we will give you an update on how it actually looks and how it performs, and we'll see the reactions from the fans. So let us know in the comments below. Are you still excited? Do you think this is good? Are you an OG player of Metroid Prime? Do you think this is a good change of pace from the old entries? Are you looking like my cousin for the remakes of 2 and 3 and you don't care about this? Let us know in the comments below, man. But that's all we got on this week's show. We covered a lot, but that's all we got for this week on episode 9. Listen, we're in this together. Don't worry about it, guys. We're going through
Breathe.
some hard times. Xbox people, we
Oh,
feel you. Halo fans, we especially feel you. It's okay. Steam hardware has entered the chat, people, and we're gonna see what that really does for gaming going forward. But that's all we got. We'll see you next week on the next episode of Are You Not Entertained?
and we're out. And that's it for this video of Are You Not Entertained podcast. Thanks for hanging out with us. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell so you'll never miss our next hot take. Until next time,
Are you not entertained?